everyone, it's Kathy Lake here, UK guest designer for Bello's Designs, and today I'd like to show you how I created this card, which I call Follow Me. It's made with a smooshed ink background, and I've got a couple of examples here because I did a couple, because the backgrounds don't always come out the same. It depends how much ink you smoosh onto the mat, but just to give you an example that this is the type of background you get. And I've used Lavinia stamps for the stamping. So to get started, I used the Lavinia 526 Faith stamp, Lavinia Mini Rory and Darcy LAV 549, the Lavinia Sacred Tree LAV 439, and the Lavinia Flora Set LAV 698. I started by cutting a piece of white multifarious card 6 inches by 4 inches, some backing card in a plum colour for 6.25 inches by 4.25 inches, and I have a card blank that once folded measures 5 inches by 7 inches. I will need some baby wipes for this. I personally choose biodegradable. For the inks, I had Distress Oxide Scattered Straw, Distress Oxide Squeezed Lemonade, and Distress Oxide Wilted Violet. For the stamping, I have VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I have a bottle of water for spritzing. I have a round moon mask, which Lavinia do a set of moon masks. One of those would be fine. I have a couple of blending brushes. I have for the inks, I've got a yellow and a purple. I've got a couple of Posca pens here because I'm not sure which colour I'm going to opt for, whether it'll be purple or green once the item's finished. I have several gel pens, glittery gel pens to colour in the fairies' wings. I have a black pencil so that if I have any stamping that doesn't quite come out correct, I can touch it up with that. And personally, I use a glue runner, but you can use any type of glue to glue your surface down. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to start by smooshing some of the inks on the... I'm using a glass mat, but you can use a blending mat. Either will be fine. So I'm just going to put some on the mat and then spritz them with water to make my background. Using the card, I'm just going to dab it in. Perhaps a little bit more water here. Smoosh it. This is where baby wipes come in handy. If you get drips on there, I just brush them off. Up. And personally, there's not enough purple on there for me, so I'm going to try with a little bit more purple. There we go. I'm not happy with that. I'm going to try and take some of the edges away so that I don't get lines. And then I'm going to dry it with my heat tool for a couple of moments. That should be enough. Wipe off any excess ink. And I'm going to put my pile of papers and magazines back for me to stamp on. Right, so before I start, I'm actually going to put a little bit of Oxide ink on the parts of it just to add a little bit more colour. I'm just going over the bits that are already there, but just making them a little bit more vibrant. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. Just put a bit of purple in the corner. That's great. So I think I'll have it that way up. Flip that over. So I'm going to start by stamping with the sacred tree. Now with this tree I don't do the whole of the tree. If I show you my picture here, I don't do the whole of the tree. Otherwise I don't have room to fit everything on. I'm just going to stamp it up and put it there. And then I'm going to stamp it again. And this time I'm just going to put it here. Just let it go, that's it. And then I'm going to stamp up Faith. I can see from here that there's a little bit on her leg that needs a little bit of colouring. I think I got a bit of glitter on my stamp last time I used it, so I'm just going to go over those bits there. That's definitely a glitter dot because it's a perfect circle. I need to give them a wash now to get that off. Right, and then I'm going to have, I'm not sure which one is Rory and which one is Darcy, because these are the mini ones that I got in the set, not the individuals. So I'm going to have him putting his hand up there. Just going to let that sit for a moment just to make sure. Perfect. And then we're going to do the other one. I'm just going to wipe her because I can see there is a bit of glitter on this one. I love using glitter, but it's a pain to get stuck on the fairies sometimes. Right. Now. And next I'm going to do the Flora set, not Fauna, sorry, Flora set. This is becoming one of my favourite floral sets from Lavinia. It's quite versatile and it's really good for doing small floral things around trees. I'm going to tear off a corner of my paper just to put here. So I can do that one. That will do. Now I'm going to use, just going to use the very tip of this to do some bits around the bottom. There we go. Now, using the moon, I'm going to put about there. Actually, first of all, I'm going to just go a little bit more yellow around there first. That's fine. And now I'm going to use the purple. There we go. Now I'm going to start on the wings. I've seen I've made a mistake there. Look, I've got a bit of ink there, so I think I'm going to have to try and tidy that up a little bit with some flowers. Let's see if that will work. There we go, that covered that quite well. And there's another little tiny one there. Just a tiny one, you wouldn't really notice that, but there you go. Rather than throw your work away if you make a mistake, it's always worth looking at it to see if there's any way you can perhaps hide any slight imperfections. So I'm going to go back to starting on the wings, and I'm going to just do a few little gold dots on here. If you don't want to colour individual squares like this, you could start by one colour this end and graduating. So for example, you could do blue, then light green, and then gold, and that's also very effective. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning, I will add it onto the details at the end, but I'm probably going to use a brown polychromo pen to colour in the trees, just to add a bit more colour. Right, so that's wings done, and I think I'm going to go with I'm going to go with green on the little flowers, because I think because it's quite a purpley background, I think green will stand out a little bit more. So I'm just going to be doing some little dots with the Posca pen on the top of the flowers to add a bit of colour. There we go. And I'm going to find a light brown polychromo pencil to colour the tree. If you don't have polychromo pencils, you can use ordinary coloured pencils or watercolour pencils if you wish. they would work just as well. I'm leaving that bit because I'm going to add a bit of yellow there, I think, from the moonlight. I'm going to put a little bit of black shading underneath her feet because there's a bit under there. So that they're grounded. And then I'm just going to go across the bottom with some purple. Backing paper. I glue them. And place it quite central. There we have it. I'm just going to press this down a bit. And there we have it. Follow me. There's the original. That's the second one. And this is the one I've just done. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already joined, please consider joining our Del Bello's design groups. There are two groups. There's one which is Del Bello's Designs and Lavinia Lounge, and one is Del Bello's Designs a la carte for anything other than Lavinia. And I hope to see you there. Thank you. Bye-bye.